that first.
Now, Bruce, have we stalled enough to let the butterflies?
Oh, yeah. I'm so calm. Thank you.
Somehow I'm a little dubious, but nonetheless, let's bring up Bruce because he is always great, and he has speech number 4 as we bring him up. Bruce is giving us speech number 4, which is How to Say It, and the title is Great Pacific Garbage Patch. Bruce, thank you.
Thank you, Dave. So we were in the kitchen the other day, my family, getting ready for work, getting ready for school, what we do. And my wife says to me, so there's this garbage patch, evidently, the size of Texas, floating out of the coast of California. I said, what? Size of Texas? She says, yeah. And I read it in the Yahoo headlines. Garbage the size of Texas. You know, I've always been sort of fascinated by Texas and the size of Texas. As a kid, I remember it took us more than 2 days to get across the state, from the farthest east to the farthest west. That's because it's more than 800 miles across Texas. And it's almost 900 miles from north to south. That's twice the distance between San Francisco and LA. So I'm on the way into work that day on the bus. I'm thinking, what is this massive blanket of trash the size of Texas out there, floating on the surface, dipping and pitching in the waves? International trash, right? Chinese like candy wrappers and Japanese Coke bottles, and American diapers, all clung together. I'm thinking, God, the stench must be horrific. How do we let this happen? Why doesn't somebody just go out there and scoop it up? So I go online. I got to find out more about this. And yes, there is an area of water out there in the Pacific Ocean the size of Texas full of trash. Okay? It's 1,000 miles directly out from San Francisco and then 1,000 miles north of Hawaii. This once pristine area of the Pacific Ocean is now commonly referred to as the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. Okay? Technically, it's the North Pacific Gyre, and like a giant toilet bowl, it circulates, never flushing. It picks up the world's trash. Currently, they estimate there's 3.5 million tons of garbage out there today. 80% of it is plastic. I also found out that my image of whole plastic and whole garbage floating on the top was totally off base. And that, if it was, maybe we could have actually gone through and cleaned it up and scooped it up. It's not the case. Plastic floats out into the ocean and breaks down. The sun, the ultraviolet lights, slowly break it down over time until it becomes smaller and smaller pieces the size of plankton. So, it's not this blanket of trash that I assumed it was the size of Texas. Instead, it's like a bowl of soup the size of trash, the size of Texas. And it's an imitation soup. Because the plastic outnumbers plankton 6 to 1. So if you're an animal that lives on plankton, you're more likely to eat plastic than you are to eat plankton. There's the problem, okay? Obviously, plastic is not good for you, okay? When these animals eat the plastic, there's a good chance that they're going to choke on it. We've seen the pictures of them getting caught up in the plastic. They also can starve from plastic, I found out, because what happens is they get this sensation of being full from eating the plastic, and they no longer eat. So that's bad enough. But plastic, I also learned, repels water, but absorbs oil. So pesticides and pollutants and toxins used on land, when it gets into the ocean, these little bits of plastic absorb it like toxic sponges. Fish, animals eat the toxic sponges. We eat the fish. Toxic humans. Toxic humans. So, the stock of this soup is not getting any thinner. It's getting thicker. They found out, their research, that from 2003 to 2008, the amount of plastic has actually doubled. Wow. Yes. It's pretty intense. The amount of plastic in the world is going up exponentially. In the last last 2 decades, it's over doubled just in the United States alone. We used to produce 60 billion tons of plastic. Today we produce 120 billion tons of plastic. So the scientists think cleaning this up is a rather dubious act. Okay? They can't see it. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch is relatively new. It was discovered only 10 years ago. You can't see it by satellites. And it's everywhere. Plastic is everywhere. And just the other day, I was taking my kids, I was off yesterday, taking them to school, and I'm thinking about the storm drains and everything. I should back up. I forgot to mention that 80% of the garbage, they believe, comes from land. So scientists, although they believe that we can't go out there and clean up what we got, we can keep the rest of the plastic from coming in. That's our one big defense. So keeping the plastic from rolling off into the beaches or going into storm drains, that's going to help us a lot. So I'm thinking of storm drains as I'm walking the kids to school, and I see a storm drain. I walk up to it, just curious. I couldn't believe it. Sure enough, there's like a little piece of trash, a little piece of plastic candy wrapper right there. I'm like, oh my God, okay, I'm saving it. I get it out, pick it up. Awareness is the first step. I was totally in the dark about this situation. Go check it out on the internet. There's some really awesome videos on it, and spread the word. Thanks a lot.
You know, it's a great uplifting speech like that. That makes me dubious that my daughter's going to ever reach old age.
Wish I could say April Fools on that one.
Yeah, no kidding. Wow. Bruce, thank you for that speech. Now, for those who haven't been here before or still trying to figure out what we're doing, that was a prepared speech. Bruce knew what he was going to say. He worked on it. Did a great job, by the way. And somebody will evaluate him later. We normally have 2 of these in our meetings, but today we are without a second speech. So we're going to move on to the extemporaneous portion. If we haven't clicked it, let's do it. Click it. And to